So there we go. I'm live. It says I'm live. And so I think I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and yeah, we'll see how many join us. Always takes a little while, doesn't it, for the numbers to build up, because it's not something I announced. I just wanted to jump on here, have a little chat, and also invite a friend of mine on. And it's all quite random. So hopefully you can stick around and hear the chat. I'm still waiting for my friend to come on. It shouldn't be too long. And if you are here and listening to this live, just post a comment, then I can start to interact with you, which will be really cool. And so yeah, just wait a little bit till the numbers build up and then chat away to my heart's content. So there we go. Elizabeth Horford. Lovely to see you, Elizabeth, from Gillingham. I know Gillingham well. I used to play in a band years and years ago when I was like a teenager. And we used to practice in a pub in Gillingham. It was in the town centre, this pub. And we played, I always got this memory of, we won like a pop competition back in the day, 1983, Battle of the Bands. We won 10 grand, which was a lot of money back then. And it was on TV, it was a big deal at the time. It was Paul Gambaccini was the top judge. There were 2,000 bands in it. And we got to the Hammersmith Apollo and we won it. And they paid us 10 grand. And we didn't have any bank accounts then. We were all on the rock and roll, on the dole. And so we insisted on getting paid in cash. So when we were planning the pub in Gillingham, after the competition, it hadn't aired on TV at that point, but we'd won it, got the money. And the manager came into the pub with 10 grand in a suitcase. And we started counting the money out because there were 7 in the group and we were all on different rates. And the Indian guys running the pub, they thought we were doing a drug deal and they started freaking out. So we said, no, we've won a pop competition. It's going to be on telly. You'll see it next week. And they weren't completely convinced. They just kept saying, no drugs. We don't want any drugs in here. No, this is money from the competition. You want to see it. And so that is my memory of Gillingham. That is a really strong memory that jumped out at me from there. And the follow-up to that, the TV thing was broadcast. It came out a week later and we saw the guys and they were all relieved that we weren't drug dealers. And it was a happy ending. We got our 10 grand and used to practice in their pub every week and it was great. So nice memory. Nice when you look back, you remember certain things that you did or happened to you and they're exciting or fun. It's always the exciting memories that jump out, isn't it? I always think of that, the things where I've been a bit adventurous and done things that are a bit different. They're the memories that kind of stay with you. So Natalie, great to see you. Kat, lovely to see you. Nicola, hey Glenn, how are you getting on with the fires? Yeah, because I'm on the Algarve. Well, where we are, we're in the middle of we're near the sea, but we're in the countryside. But the fires were down in Faro, which is where the main airport is. If you look at the Algarve, we're on the west side, which is Lagos, I should say. Lagos. That's how we say it in England. The English say it, but the locals say it Lagos. So we haven't been affected, but every year they do tend to spring up in different places. So we're always a bit mindful at this time of year. So fingers crossed, there won't be any more bad fires. It is a thing out here. And Patrick is saying, greetings, Glenn, from Bradenton, Florida. Just celebrated my birthday yesterday. Oh, happy birthday to you, Patrick. How wonderful. And Elizabeth is saying, year I got married, 1983. So that was, it was kind of an auspicious year because that was the year we won that competition. And Cynthia, hello to you. Eileen, hi, Glenn, happy to catch you live. It's been a while. Yeah, I'm not doing loads at the moment. Had a house move and lots of stuff going on. So I haven't been doing tons of these. But I'm waiting for my mate Jason to come on. yeah, I didn't get back till a little bit later than I said I would today. So he's hopefully he's getting the message, and he'll jump on in a minute, and we'll have a good chat about a retreat that we're running along the coast here on the Algarve. And I love Jason. He's a very special person. He runs amazing retreats at his place that he lives along the coast, really special ones with all kinds of plant medicine and different kinds of retreats. And so I'll talk about the retreat we're going to be doing in October when Jason's on. And just as I said, that is the man. Let me just answer through these other questions. So Patrick is saying, Patrick, yep, done Patrick. Facebook user, hi Glenn. It never says the name on there. Hello, Linda from Edinburgh. Lovely to see you. Always on my webinars and chats. Great to see you. And Sandra from the Philippines. Well, thank you all for joining us. And without further ado, I'm going to bring my mate Jason on. Hello, buddy.
Hello, Glenn. How you doing?
I'm good, mate.
How am I?
Yeah, that's good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you well, yeah. You're a little bit blurry, but I'm guessing that's because the connection's not super strong, so the bandwidth is a bit lower. But it's good. We can see enough of you to have a good chat.
Great. How you doing?
You're right, are you, mate?
Yeah, a bit of a touchy time here in Portugal, as you know, with these summer fires and massive dryness and drought situations. So it's always a bit of a testing time to.
Somebody was just mentioned that, and I said it was kind of local to Faro, wasn't it? The fires when they happened.
It was, yeah.
You're in between Lagos and Faro, aren't you? So you're kind of central, but you are banging the country, aren't you?
That's right. Yeah, we were pretty much shrouded in smoke yesterday, and of course, you're looking around everywhere to where's it coming from.
I mean, I've been up to your place when there's been a little fire at the top of your land. Do you remember that? And the bomberos were out double quick, weren't they?
And the aeroplanes,
And it started out of nothing, didn't it? We think it might have been somebody chucked a cigarette butt out the window, and boom, it started, and then all the planes flew over, didn't they?
Dropping
water. Yeah, it was quite. Yeah. They're very quick to respond out here, aren't they?
They need to be. To be honest, they need to be. It's like year in, year out, it would appear to be every year now.
Yeah.
And increased dryness, that makes it a challenge.
Yeah, that's it. The less water there is in this area, the more dry it becomes, doesn't it? But you were saying, that story you told me was quite fascinating, that your land is in a little sort of valley, isn't it, on its own? And you had a really bad fire a few years ago, didn't you? And it kind of went all around your property, but didn't touch your land.
Yeah, left us a green bubble because we're in the valley here. The fire was fierce and burnt everything around us, as you've seen, but left us in this really nice green bubble because it kind of, as fire runs down the hill, it's running out of oxygen all the time. So if you have places at the top of a hill, that's way more challenging because the fire's racing up towards you. If you're in the valley, it's an advantage.
Yeah, that makes good sense. I mean, I'd also say the energetic work you've done on that land must play a part. You'll have protectors and angels and guides, looking after you because of the amazing work you've done there. So, Jason, let's talk about the retreat, because we're running a retreat there in October on Jason's land. Tell us a bit about the land, Jace, and
just
what's
started
going on.
The registration process for that. And so the land here, we're blessed with pretty much 100 acres of private land here with our own swimming lakes and our own fruit orchards. And we never realized the blessing that we had from the very first day, or we did realize the blessing, but we realized more and more each day what a blessing it is to have what we have here. And the fact that I can just about communicate with you here on these lines is because we are also in a clean air environment as far as mobile phone signal and broadband and all of those technologies is concerned. We just about scrape by with the bare minimum to be able to do what we're doing right now.
And it's a nice thing, you know, when I've come to you and, you know, we experienced the medicine retreat there, and we didn't have any, you know, for 48 hours, no connection to the outside world. And, you know, I kind of need that, you know, because I'm so, as most people are, on computers, phones, you know, just to clear that completely and be out of that, you start to, you know, rejuvenate and regenerate. So that's the one thing with the retreat. You know, it's a mind, body, spirit retreat we're running in October, and it kind of just encompasses everything, doesn't it? You know, your detox from your phone, your computer. Obviously, emergencies, you can get a message out, people can get a message in, but that's a big part of it, isn't it? So that you're in this energetic bubble while you're on the land, and the energy will build up over the week, will just grow and grow. And there's different workshops each day. I'm going to be running a meditation workshop. Nicola, my wife, is running a sacred, what was the next one? It was Sacred Feminine and a meditation workshop. Johnny White is going to be doing the music one, which is he's an amazing multi-talented musician who works with gongs and frequencies. I love his workshops. I've done a few of them here in Lagos, and they're just brilliant. He's a really evolved soul. You know, I love speaking to him as well. So he's going to be doing a retreat there one of the days, a workshop. Jace, take over. Who else have we got there?
I'm going to be offering some shamanic work there as well. We're going to work with a medicine plant called Sananga. Sananga is a very special plant out of the Amazon basin that helps us to clear trauma and blockages by accessing our spirit through our windows to the soul, through our eyes. It's a very interesting plant, very subtle, but so beneficial. We're also working, for those who choose, we're going to be working with microdosing psilocybin. So if this will be a daily activity for those who choose to do it. And you can't, going back to that issue with the telephones, it's a really important part of a detox. In fact, you know, Kay and I were out last evening and just sitting and having a chat at a local restaurant, and just noticed the amount of people who were without conversation across a dining table from each other, and yet just scrolling on this matrix.
It's linked. A massive matrix linked. Yeah, totally, mate. It's a massive addiction for so many people, isn't it? You know, and I'm guilty of it. You know, it's the one thing that I need to focus on. You know, I'm pretty clean and clear in a lot of ways, but that one I've just got to cut it down. You know, and
so we have access to emergency numbers, and people can have a landline based telephone connection point here for their loved ones if they feel that they want to be able to be connected, or in an emergency connect with them. But it really is a privilege and a rarity to now be able to disconnect from the matrix, disconnect from that eternal download of data. And what that actually does as well, physiologically for your system, it allows your brain to recalibrate, to understand that it's not being bombarded with external information continuously. And the ways that recalibration can take place is that your dreaming and your thinking and your meditations can become much more powerful, even in a very short space of time. It's amazing.
That's the thing, isn't it? And you know, like you said, you know, disconnecting from the matrix is so important at this time, isn't it? Because, you know, there's so much you know, sort of manipulation going on and that kind of thing. And, you know, there's been a sort of a war on our consciousness for a long time. You know, so many people their pineal gland is shut down. And when their pineal gland is shut down, they're so much easier to manipulate and control. And this is not by accident. This is purely by intention from, you know, those at the top of the power structures in this world, to shut people down, manipulate, control them. So, you
Yeah.
know, a week at a retreat like we're running in October, where you can switch off from that and allow you do various workshops and supplements and medicines and, you know, natural vegan food and swimming in, you know, freshwater lakes every day. And the kind of work we're going to be doing is going to enable people to, you know, uncalcify their pineal gland and start to awaken more, you know, and come out of that. And,
Yeah.
you know, and for those who are awake, it would just help them to elevate higher anyway. You know, that's all. I think that's my intention in my work. And I know with you, that's your intention with the way that you work, to,
Yes.
you know,
And
to expand people's consciousness and to awaken them to their full potential and power, because
yeah.
it's so uplifting. So that's the whole week is going to be really all about that, you know, really helping people to raise their consciousness and expand. And so
Absolutely.
it's
And it's you know, you and I talk of, and we are well aware of the external power structures from way up here that are giving this consciousness suppression out. But
yeah,
you know, if we take that aside, if we are working with people who are not necessarily talking about the huge power struggle, for many people that power struggle starts with themselves and their own mind and their own ability to be their worst critic or beat themselves up over the tiniest situation. And so
yeah,
even if we exclude what's going on as a worldview and
yeah,
we come into ourselves to detoxify maybe our own repeated thought patterns, our
yeah,
own guilty pleasures, or our own guilt full stop. You know,
yeah,
we can work on ourselves at a very internal and basic level,
yeah,
and really some improvement in our thought processes, in our
yeah,
breathing, and in the way our body is reacting. And by excluding let's say refined sugars and caffeines and a lot of the stuff that you will give up for this retreat, our body gets a chance to reset, because it's
yeah,
not having to deal with this massive input
yeah,
because it fights a battle every day for you. Your body is fighting a battle every day. If you're breathing in the carbon dioxide from the edge of the road, if you're being bombarded with broadband signal, if you're drinking loads of caffeine, if you're taking in lots of sugar, your body, God bless it, deals with this on a daily basis. And so isn't it worth just giving your body a little bit of a treat and saying, okay, here's a gap, here's some downtime,
yeah.
detox, and let
I'm just
yourself recap.
I'm going to put up the link to the retreat. I'm just looking for it on here, but yeah, I'll put it up on in the comments box so people can go to the website and, you know, get a bit more information. But yeah, I mean, in this day and age, it's so important, isn't it, to work on these things that are coming up in us, because we're going through this incredible time of, the shadow aspect of the world, and internally, you know, within ourselves is being exposed and coming up, and we're being forced to look at things within us that are uncomfortable at times. And
Indeed.
it's so important to work through those things. And it was a really powerful full moon yesterday, wasn't it? Did you feel that?
Yeah.
It was something
Yeah.
else, the energy from it. And I felt, I was, for the day before and the day of it, I was whacked. I didn't sleep one night. I haven't done that for ages. I just couldn't sleep. I was just wired. And
Yeah.
so I kind of,
Ears buzzing.
all of that kind of
Constant
thing, that energy download, it was hitting us,
uneasy
and
feeling.
uneasy, feeling insecure all over the place and ungrounded. But when it was 7:30 last night, it was at its peak, and we went out in the garden and we did an offering, of releasing the things that we wanted to release at that time, and using the power of the full moon to really be in that at that time.
Yeah,
And
nice.
we did that little ceremony, and I woke up, slept a great night last night, woke up this morning feeling, great. I'm feeling like renewed. And,
Yeah,
it's such a powerful thing, but it's so easy to get caught up in everyday life and to forget how important these things are. And I think the thing with the retreat, what it's going to do, it's going to really plug people back into the importance of doing this healing work and the clearing and raising your consciousness, because you're in an environment where you can't, that's what it's all about. You're there to do that, and it just plugs you in. So, it's
what's
going to be
really
amazing.
interesting as well, Glenn, is that since we opened registration for this, the emails have been coming through via some of the platforms, which I'll talk to you about it afterwards. But predominantly, we are getting our inquiries and questions asked by the divine feminine, by the ladies in the groups. And I would really encourage men, the guys out there, to come and give yourself that break. Come and allow yourself that pause, because it is the time of the divine feminine. And this can be, but this can be confusing for guys, that have all, that this is how we do it, where it's live by the sword. And so this kind of acknowledgement of our feminine side, of our willingness to take care of self, of our willingness to pause, take a breath, look inward, which are not necessarily male qualities that we see in everyday life, especially reflected in our outer systems. So I would encourage guys that, this is not just a retreat for the divine feminine, who, let's face it, are way further down the line for awakeness and evolved souls.
Absolutely.
They are the only ones that have the right to guide new souls into this plane of existence. So there's some pretty fantastic
it's interesting. I'm reading an amazing book about that, the divine feminine and the power in that, and how men are often disconnected from that because of the way where the Western world is structured, and the school systems and that kind of thing. But it's so empowering when you do embrace that, because it also helps to invigorate the divine masculine aspect of you as well, doesn't it? They work together. Balance. It's all about balance, and they work together in harmony when they're both strong and active within you. But guys are often shut down from that divine feminine aspect because they think it's soft or weak, or they're having a moment, or so well, it's only
huge strength,
giving you more strength. Absolutely,
accept the divine feminine aspect within yourself and regain balance. You can't have one without the other. It's the yin and yang, and it brings not only your body but your mind and your spirit into alignment when you acknowledge both powers.
And when those two aspects are, and what, mate?
I said, so come on, guys, let's see you.
Come on, fellas, this is it. This is, it'd be lovely to have, 6 men, 6 women, wouldn't it? It'd be fantastic.
That would be
the ideal. So, it's as much a retreat for men as it is for women, and but like you said, I think, women are more naturally in touch with their feelings. So it makes, with spirituality and awakening, there's more women awake on this planet. Like you said, so it's, you'd say guys need this kind of thing more than women almost, because it's, ultimately it's the pathway to enlightenment, isn't it? When you work on those two aspects, the divine masculine and divine feminine within you, it takes you to enlightenment and to a place of higher consciousness. And when you're there, you see the world and you experience life through, a new eyes, freshness. You feel much more creative, and it is empowering on so many levels.
There's a different focal point that engages within your life once you can learn to accept both energies. But in saying that, if we just ended up with 12 women or just with 12 guys, they would be coming to embrace the balance of both. this is the beauty of it. It's just that maybe the ladies can embrace that other side far more easier than the guys can. But it doesn't mean you have to stay back in the background. You can come and do it. We'll be there. And I love working on that side of myself, trying to find, you know, we were out to lunch the other day. We had such provoking conversations, all four of us. Kay and I were talking about it when we got home. We messaged you, you messaged us. Things were coming up, memories, thoughts, emotions. And, you know, through that balance of the four of us, we engaged a new spirit and an energy that had a life of its own. It's
I love it. You know, when you're with and around conscious people who are, you know, working on themselves and have that awareness, you spark each other up, don't you? Your creativity, you know, feeds each other. And you know what we'll have at the retreat is that dynamic in a group. You know, because you come in from your normal lives, and then you're in this little bubble. And literally, you know, you said that we're picking people up from the airport, aren't we? And it starts when they get off the plane and they come. You're going to be in this bubble. And there's going to be a group dynamic, which, you know, will build over the 6 days. It's a family at that time. You get so close to people. I mean, I've done a retreat at your place over 48 hours and didn't know anyone when I came to it. But the bond we had afterwards was so powerful because we'd been through this massive, you know, metamorphosis, cathartic healing retreat. And at the end of it, you know, we were all just like kindred spirits. You know, we felt so close to each other because it's that real raw stuff, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's, you know, no, you're not doing small talk. You're just in there healing and working on yourself, and it's so empowering. So that's what retreats give you. You know, it just and a 6-day one's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, they're quite unique experiences for you know, most people who attend a retreat. Are really out of their comfort zone for what they would normally do in their everyday life. So the moment they close their door behind them and take the first step towards conscious earth here, they're already on retreat. They're already out of their usual comfort zone. They're embarking on everything is part of it. The journey, the people that they'll bump into on the way here, the people they'll connect with whilst they're here, the experiences, the meditations, the medicine, everything will be part of their journey and part of their retreat. I wanted to just mention as well, Glenn, that I know we have a detox retreat, and if people are going to the webpage, all the details are there.
Jason, what is the website? I haven't got the link up at the moment. Conscious Earth Retreat, isn't it? Conscious Earth.
Hold on. It is. It's www.consciousearth-healingretreats.com.
That was it. consciousearth-healingretreats.com. I should have brought this up before, but better late than never. So just so people can go to the website and have a look at it, and there we go. I got it.
Yeah.
Let me just Trinity Detox Retreat on the 4th of October. There we go. Let me put a link to that. Normally I've got Russ on here who does all this for me, but there we go. That's the retreat. And just want to say, there's a couple of lovely comments gone up there from Susan. Glenn, you totally transformed my appreciation of the meditation and hypnotherapy practice. Keep doing what you're doing. That's wonderful to hear that, Susan. I'm really pleased to read that comment. Thank you for posting. And Linda is saying, hi there, Glenn. Stumbled upon this completely by accident. Just came inside after successful, almost pain-free hours of gardening. I'm elderly with physical disabilities. Hypnosis continues to help me. That's wonderful to hear that. You know, it's it is. And hello to Eileen and Sehar and Claire and Linda. And yeah, this chat is just about the detox retreat that Jason and myself are going to be running in October on the Algarve in a place called Silves. Jason's got 100 acres of land. That is an amazing location. And, you know, when you come to this retreat, it's going to be a vegetarian only buffet throughout the week. We're going to really detox a little bit there. It's not a full-on detox, but we're going to go
Well,
light on that.
I wanted to mention something about that. For it can be as deep as people would like to go, but
Okay.
you know, for some people, the purists, they might just want to stick with the smoothies and juices. But what we will add into that web page is that we will always have a supply of fresh fruit and raw vegetables and food if people need to get some sustenance, because for some people that can be an absolute body shock, and we don't want them in a situation where all they're concentrating on is their hunger. But we can certainly keep people refreshed and full with some really good organic smoothies and juices, fruits and nuts and vegetables, and the work that the meditations, the medicine.
When you're doing that work, the energy work, that sustains you almost anyway, doesn't it? I mean, I've always found that you don't need as much food on those retreats because you're working on a more energetic level. So, you've got that sustenance from, prana and, the energy of the group. And Megan is just saying there, anything to add for people new to retreats, anything to add ahead of time? What would you say?
I sent Megan a message. Hopefully you got that message, Megan. Megan's coming. I think Megan would arrive tomorrow if she could. So bless her. But yeah, Megan, just what I wrote in the email. And it's really, if it's your first detoxing experience of any kind, then a gentle approach is really what you should be looking at for your first experiences. And as I said, if caffeine is your thing, if refined sugar is your thing, chocolate, then to extract that from your normal life for a period of days is a form of detoxing. And you will notice distinct differences in how you sleep, how you breathe, and how you function during the day when you take out these little things, which, let's face it, secretly you really know aren't the best thing for you. They might taste lovely, they might give you that instant gratification, but the drop off and the price that your body pays is quite high. So so just a soft approach. And as I said, Megan, there's a wealth of information on the net of people that will guide you as far as smoothies and juices and different vegetables and different practices for personal detoxes.
So I think just come into it with intention. I think that's the thing. I mean, we'll do that in the opening ceremony. We'll get people to set intentions, but maybe think about what it is you want to get from the retreat, and come in with a sort of clear idea and intention as to what you want to get from the retreat. And there's a couple of lovely messages there. One from La Vega de Sola. I hope I pronounced that right. It's a wonderful name. I love it. And it says, I've had the pleasure of knowing about Glenn Harrold's existence for 7 years now. And I listen to you when I'm going to sleep 5 of 7 days a week. You've been a huge part of my life without knowing. Oh man, that's wonderful to hear. What a lovely message. Yes, heartwarming, isn't it? Pleased to hear that the recordings have helped you. That's wonderful. And Linda's saying retreats sound a wonderful, life-changing experience. Sadly, not something I could ever participate in. Lots of luck to you both. Wonderful opportunity. Much love. And Linda's saying same here. Sorry, La Vega de Sola is saying same here. Thank you for that message. That was beautiful. And as a once-in-a-lifetime thing, I want to take it as far as I can. So that's I guess is that someone coming to the retreat? I'm not sure because it just says Facebook.
I think that is Megan again.
Okay, of course it is. Yeah.
I get the feeling this won't be a once in a lifetime thing for you, Megan. I think you're going to be doing more retreats and more work with different modalities, and because this the reason that I say that is that because you just realize very quickly that it's something you've been needing, and that it enhances your life afterwards. It embellishes your experience with your relationship with food, with your relationship with your breathing, and with your relationship with let's say some of the medicina plants that are out there in this world, these emissaries of the shift in consciousness on this planet, that are there to help us. So yeah, not a once in a lifetime thing, the beginning of a lifetime.
It's amazing, isn't it? When you go down the spiritual path, you've got no idea of how much your life changes over time.
Unbelievable.
And retreats do that, because retreats are often the kickstart for you to, go into sort of expanded states of consciousness and have new awarenesses, that kind of thing. And it's, I would say I've probably been on that path for, 30 odd years now. And I
Yeah,
think
I mean,
the transformations that come as you go further and you get hungry for more knowledge, more wisdom, and to heal more, to clear those traumas and wounds from your past, and to get as light and as free as you possibly can. You get more hungry for it. I'm still, I'll be working on myself when I'm 90, still clearing and doing ceremonies and what have you, because it's the ultimate freedom, isn't it?
I think that if I was to sit across a table from myself 10 years ago and explain how I thought now, I would just be saying, no way, mate, that's never going to happen. So, or even 20 years, the growth never stops.
No, it never does. It never does.
Never stops. And it's such a, it's a real pleasure to this life is a gift.
It is, with all its challenges and everything. It is. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's not to say you don't go through life having stresses and ups and downs and difficulties, family problems, and all that. But with a conscious awareness, you deal with all of those things in a much better way, don't you? Not always. Some days you have your meltdowns or whatever, but generally, you have a new awareness, don't you? And a creativity and a solution head on you that you can find, you can navigate through life much better and really taste the fruits as well, taste the sweetness of life at times as well. It's never a constant thing. It's something you touch on now and again. And it's beautiful.
That, like, my best analogy for that, from my work with the medicine plants, from my work in retreats, is that life throws balls at you. And when you're in a state of confusion or I'm just so busy, or these balls tend to hit you in the face and smack you in the chest, these metaphorical life balls, smack you, and you really don't know whether you're coming or going. Some of them are great, some of them injure you, some of them give you trauma. But what I find with this work and the work that I've been doing is it's a bit like a movie. Those balls seem to go into slow motion as they come towards you, and you can kind of have a look at them. And I'm going to give that one a miss, and this one I'm bite into because that looks great, and I'll give this one a miss. And everything seems to slow down and allow you the time to assess how you feel about those situations, how you would like to proceed, rather than being at the mercy of those situations. You are in control. You are God. It's as simple as that.
We are, and on a soul level, I always come back to that we've signed up for this life, this incarnation. And we knew when we were coming in, there's dark and there's light, there's free will, there's choices, and we've got to navigate our way through all this. And we normally come in with pretty unconscious parents. We talked about this, I know, and mine were nice people but completely unconscious. And still are. In fact, my old man's as unconscious as they get. He's 83, bless him, but no awareness other than, you know, the superficial Maya, the pub,
Yeah,
football. So, you know, you've got to navigate all that as well, you know, navigate your way through life with parents who are raising you in an unconscious way.
yeah.
And
And gratitude for that is now my journey, like with my own father.
yeah,
It,
that's the empowering way to look at it, isn't it? Because, you know, you can, you know, when I was younger, I felt a victim of that because, you know,
yeah,
they were the
yeah,
reason my life was so shit at the time, you know. But
yeah.
once you start to work on yourself and you look back, they were unconscious because their parents were brought them up in an unconscious way. It's a cycle. And
Yes.
this life gives you the opportunity to break that cycle and to start again. And, you know, the future generations, you know, creating a new line of karma, clearing family karma.
Yeah,
And
and if you think
it's an
about it along the lines,
opportunity.
you know, for me personally, thinking about it along the lines of my dad uh, showed me the man I never wanted to be. And, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for that because
And I
I
know
had,
you genuinely are. I know you well, and you say that, and you had some brutal experiences when you were young. I know you've
yeah,
told me, and so to turn that around, those brutal experiences, and have a
yeah,
genuine sense of gratitude for what he taught you,
yeah.
that's that's you in your masculine power, isn't it? And it's for
It,
real.
it,
It's like,
totally for real. And I think it is, I'm also a great believer that our souls, before we come here, we get to sit down with our entire soul group and
yeah,
make these agreements
yeah,
and make
yeah.
soul contracts, if you
You know,
like.
I don't
Say,
know if I ever
what
told
we
you.
might do.
Yeah, I actually, I'm not, I've never remembered a past life, you know, I've never gone into that or never, you know, my things in my childhood, I remember certain things, but it's all a bit vague, you know, through the sort of teenage drug years, a lot of it's been submerged and I can't
Yeah,
remember it, but I have a memory and a really clear memory. And it's almost more than a left brain memory that I've got. It's a feeling that I remember where I was before I actually came into this life between whatever my past life was and between this life. And I was
yeah,
kind of suspended in the middle of nowhere. There was nothing below me, nothing above me, nothing to the side. I was just in this infinite space. And I knew I was coming into this life and I knew it was going to be tough and I knew it was going to be challenging. And I almost had a sense of like being able to choose whether I went ahead or I went back to the comfort of what I'd come from. And that memory has been with me all of my life. And I know it's real. I
oh,
can't
it's
elaborate on it much more than that, but I knew I had a choice at that time whether to come in and live it to the full and take all the challenges that came with that.
yeah,
And now, you know, I'm on the Algarve in a great place, happy family. I'm so glad I did.
yes. I'd come again. Put it that way. I'd definitely come again if I was invited.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Maybe in a new family, new soul group.
well, you know,
You know,
I
where you
mean,
create a good downline yourself. You know, maybe you want to incarnate into that one.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're all only here for 5 minutes, and none of
Yeah,
us is getting out alive.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the bottom line. And once you can embrace that, you're starting to come closer to understanding what your 5 minutes on this plane of existence really means and
yeah,
what you deserve to be able to experience.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you really can choose that. You really can move into the spheres that you would like to experience. It's just a choice.
It's always a choice. You know, we have free will, don't we, in everything we do. And I think, you know, the salvation for you and me coming from the, you know, brutal upbringings that we had was that eventually we managed to wake up and make conscious choices.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming back to the retreat, because this is what this talk is about, you know, a retreat like this can really help to galvanize you and get you right on that path, can't it? That
Yes. I,
because
I I
the
would
path
suggest
is, yeah,
a kicking off point for a lot of people, especially if they're experiencing it for the first time.
yeah,
It's something that people will recognise as a real gift to self, And people don't find a lot of time to gift themselves, especially if you're a busy mum with a load of children and you've got a busy life to contend with, or if you're a busy guy doing the same thing, you find little time for oneself, and the time that you might find for yourself might be involving other activities that aren't necessarily the best thing for you, but just dampen down your free time experience, So it really is about taking a pause and really just stopping. And whilst you're stopped, having the benefit of people like you and Nicola, myself, João Branco, Johnny White, Sergio. We also have the massage lady that will come here every day to give body work.
There's optional body massages and so the whole retreat is very much a mind, body, spirit detox, and the energy will grow throughout the week. It's going to be very, very uplifting and very powerful in a lot of ways. So I'll post the link to the retreat one more time there so everyone can see it. If anyone's just joined us, they can go to the site, have a look at that. Message, you'll get through to Jace when you send a message from the site. Ask him if you've got any questions, you want to know about anything. And if it feels right for you, make the commitment, go for it, sign up for it. And we will see you on the 4th of October here on the Algarve. And welcome you into this little family group we're going to create, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a really powerful, amazing week.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just going to say hello to Elaine Williams from Spain there. Hello from Spain. Seeing as it's the next door neighbour to Portugal.
Hello, where's that? I can't see that one.
It's just above
further up.
Solar, in between two of La Vega's posts. Elaine Williams, hello from Spain. Hello,
there we go. Gotcha. Yeah, so all right, mate. Well, it's lovely to chat with you as always. Always a pleasure. And we meet up often out here because we're only 25 minutes away from each other. And with our lovely wives, we often meet up and hang out and chew the fat. And it's going to be myself and Jason that are going to be at the heart of this retreat, and with the other therapists and the other people that are running their workshops each day. And it's going to be an absolute blast. Switch off from the matrix, get out the matrix out of your head, and enjoy this week. It's going to be brilliant.
I am working on a special guest as well, which Luna, Magdalena, Nikki Luna. I've spoken to her. And,
right.
If you're not aware of this in the audience, this lady is a filmmaker and made the film in which Glenn is a part, The Time of the Sixth Sun. I would strongly recommend watching this movie. You can go to their website, thetimeofthesixthsun.com. It's so spiritually uplifting, and so many speakers and spiritually gifted people involved in this film, Glenn being one of them, and many, many others. And the filmmaker, Nikki, is a friend of Glenn and mine, and I'm working on it to hopefully maybe have her come along as a guest.
That will be lovely. It's been a while. Last time I saw Nikki she came out to Fengarola when I was living out there. She was staying up the road, and we met in a cafe, and she showed me, we sat in a cafe on the front in Fengarola and watched The Time of the Sixth Sun before it had been released. And I'd filmed my bit about, it must have been 10 years before. It was quite some time. And she changed the film so much, but I was pleased. She said, you've survived the cutting room floor. And I still had a clip in there. And it was lovely. It was a really nice moment. So that would be lovely to see Nikki out there.
And I really recommend, whether you're coming to this retreat or not, I would recommend people to go onto that website and watch that movie and prepare to be spiritually elevated, uplifted, and leaving you with a taste of optimism.
Absolutely. So, guys, we're gonna cut off now. Someone join us. Hello, Emma. Lovely to see you. And I think Megan's saying brilliant film. Would be amazing to meet Nikki. We're gonna close off now, but if you do, it's going to be on playback on Facebook and YouTube. So feel free to watch it back if you didn't catch it all. Thanks, Jace. Lovely to see you, mate. And we'll do more of these as we lead up to the retreat in the next few months. So I'll speak to you soon, mate. Okay.
Take care.
Namaste.
Namaste.